got another update for you. As you know, I've been playing quite a bit of General d'Armée. Well, not quite a bit, but it's pretty much what I've been focused on. I'm planning a second battle, so I can go with the rules, using the forces I had in the previous demo game. And this will be a demo game as well. I don't want a big battle with a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of stuff to begin with. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of build off the original demo game and the results of that, and I'm going to play off of that and create a scenario based around how that turned out. If you remember, the Russians were in control of this hill on the right flank with their Cossacks, and the French were kind of held up because of that. They were pretty battered with their infantry in the center, and only the Saxons were kind of unscathed, and they'd be the ones most likely to advance on the enemy with that brigade and keep on their butts. But the Russians withdrew from the battlefield, at least the infantry did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that the main French infantry brigade and cavalry were kind of held up taking care of the Cossacks who took this right flank hill position, while the remaining infantry of the Russians withdrew into a better defensible position. So what I'm going to assume is that for the scenario that the French were sufficiently delayed, so couldn't keep the pressure on. So it gave time to the Russians to reinforce their position, take up a better defensive position, and hold on. Perhaps it's a fighting withdrawal type of situation. So the rest of the division for the Russians will be brought up, the rest of the infantry, to support the battered troops. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. I'll probably just remove them because I want everybody starting off fresh. Maybe the previous battalions are now considered small. I want something like that, I think. A similar situation for the French. They'll be spearheaded by a Saxon brigade with their artillery, and they'll be supported by a fresh infantry brigade of French. We'll assume they're coming from the rest of the French division, kind of held in reserve. They're now being used and pushed forward, and try and take out the Russians who they suspect are withdrawing. But unfortunately, they're going to face a pretty stiff and relatively fresh Russian force that will be supported by cavalry. Perhaps this time around I'll use a standard size Cossack unit. As you can see over there on the right next to the dice, that is a Cossack unit, standard size. So we'll see what I can get out of that. Also, I want to try something else. I want to try perhaps playing on a 4x4 with this, because I'm only involving maybe 2 or 3 brigades a side. So to simulate a larger action going on, let's crunch the table a little bit and put some squeeze on the armies. So fight on a smaller table. Kind of hoping that'll kind of make it feel like a bigger battle going on, even though it's a smaller table. But on top of that, what I also would like to do is add in the possibility of additional troops which are not in the control of the French divisional commander or the Russian divisional commander that could come onto the table. Kind of like a random occurrence, like all of a sudden some Russian cuirassiers show up on the right flank of the French for whatever reason. Because, in my mind, there's a bigger battle going on. And actually, what I envision happening is that to the left of the French, that's this side over here, there is a counterattack being launched by the Russians, which includes some guard elements, or at least some tough grenadiers, and perhaps some Russian cuirassiers, some heavy cav. There's an action going on over there, and the Russians are kind of counterattacking. And perhaps we'll see some of those guard elements make their presence known in this battle. So, and the same might go for the French. We shall see. But I'm going to try and add a random element to the game, which will bring in some units into this particular battle. But that's my idea. That's what I got cooking in my brain. And we're going to try out General d'Armée once again, continuing from the previous battle, at least the results of it. And we're going to try and stretch it a little bit and see how good this set of rules works, particularly for smaller actions. Again, it's ideally suited for maybe 4 brigades a side. That would be great. But I'm going to be playing with 3, maybe 2. Just to really test out the rules' usefulness for smaller actions. as well as different troop types. So I'm going to have all kinds of troops on the table. So there we go, folks. That's an idea of what I'm working on for my Napoleonics. So stay tuned, folks. I got more. I should be setting this up during the week and posting some more videos. It'll be a full bat rep. I'll post the forces at the beginning and the scenario details, and we'll play it all out and see what happens. So right to the conclusion. So stay tuned, folks. I hope you enjoy my little update for the day, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.